All right, today I'm going to do a copy of this Cornwell. This is a Dean Cornwell painting I absolutely love. I'm going to do it in acrylic. And, these are just meant to be quick, where you can kind of play with colors and compositions and things, really just to figure out, actively pursue what good art is, and what that meaning is for you. And don't let someone make that decision for you. I'm going to take just a green that I have, and I'm going to add it to the palette. And then I'm just going to add a couple other colors just to see what I can get. There's a red, and I just see some violet in there, so I'm going to add that as well. So the only thing I really got is this blue by Blick, which I'm going to use. Primary, I think it's like a phthalo, which is way too chromatic for almost anyone's needs. All right, let's start. I'm going to begin by just taking and washing in a color in the background. To lower the chroma of that, I'm going to just take white and black and pull it in through there. And I'm going to just add that to this. Get some water. Wonderful thing about acrylic is that water kind of acts like your, I don't even know, just like a wash. It's a great way to kind of wash in your color. All right, more white, more black. I'm not a huge fan of pre-mixing colors. I find that when I do that, I almost never stay with those mixtures. Jump right in. Sometimes if you have a lot of preparation you have to do, you just may spend all your time preparing, and then to jump in, let go of the, like, especially, for me, I find that one of the things I love about like doing these is the ability to kind of have to take and then dissect the composition. Like, so for example, I'm seeing that there's kind of maybe a burnt umber in there. I don't have one. What is the red that I can kind of pull in there? Maybe I want to add a tiny bit of green. And then all of a sudden, I got my own kind of mixture. All right, so I'm going to just come down. And look at that. In the picture, that looks way, way too chromatic. So it gives you kind of a point to begin to kind of think, like something to gauge something off of. All right, and then this comes up. I see some of these notes now, and I'm aware of how to make the mixtures. I'm going to just put that as a compositional element. I don't need to make it look like a dude grieving, just right now, just get that in there. All right. Let it dry a little bit. And then look at the interaction of light and shadow on these forms. There we go. Then if I ran out of space, I'm just going to add a little bit at the top. Like, don't be afraid. Don't worry about like what the outcome is. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world. It's really about, like, for me, that is the composition right there. That's me kind of just taking it for a run, beginning to now make decisions and say, I don't know, maybe the green is a little bit more on the blue side, and let me pull the composition together that way. Again, this is acrylic, so I don't know. There's a wonderful connection to oil, but then a difference as well, right? But that first initial, I almost say like a scavenger, just a preparatory run to grab the data, that first run. allows me to now kind of narrow in. But look, that's the composition. This is the composition right here, just at its essence, before I get back in and break it apart. So I'm going to just pull this over a little bit more, get water if I need it. Can you get the mood? There's of course a psychology to all this as well. The color, the reason why Cornwell used this. Begin to contemplate too. Be mindful in everything that you're doing. Why did he use these colors? There's a reason. Green, very grieving. Don't be afraid to put a mark down and then almost like a wash. And then go back in and you can build the form, right? This is the essence, I think, of the picture. What can you do with a brush like this? You know, that's the basis of the design. Right there. Resist the urge to add detail. If you want to, do it. If you want to time yourself, that could help. Especially if you feel like that's something you want. Do you want to have less detail in your designs? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's not for me to tell anyone. I think there's just a variety of different ideas out there of what a painting can be. I don't think people need to tell everyone what something should look like. Comes down, over, right? Use this as an opportunity to learn how to draw so that you can draw right on the canvas. If it's something that, I was always trying to get better at drawing, setting the bar really high. Can you hit it on the first note? Well, opportunity here to play. See if you can. All right. And this spatially, maybe it's there, maybe there. It's the opportunity to pull this up, and then now this comes down. This all comes over. This comes up. There's a lot of utility even keeping a painting at this stage. This is what we did with poster studies in my training. This is really what a lot of artists did for a long time, where you're taking and finding the design of the whole. The whole is really what it is. Let's put out some more black. Of course, if you had a color that could get you there a little faster, there's nothing wrong with that either. Something like, I always associate like burnt umber with that. Look at that. The green pulls it a little bit more towards the center, so it's not. There we go. Feels like a burnt umber to me. All right, just off a little bit. Notice the things that he's putting in here too. That's the beauty of doing it like this. Just a moment right there. That's the design of it. Red. The beauty of acrylic too is it can work in many different ways. Like I could just, this is almost dry. I can just move this over. I can take in glaze over the top. This, even the skin tones. I feel like there's light, but he framed that up nicely right there. A reason for it. There's just the urge to put detail in all the time. Detail's not what makes a great picture. All right. That's the, I mean, sometimes you see the studies of these artists and you see that it's really kind of at this stage right here. A lot of paintings, like the design of it. Saul Tepper's another good one to study, in which he has these just beautiful little sketches that he did all the time to work it out. You know, and then you can refine from large into small. Harvey Dunn's another good one to study in that regard. All right, there we go. Maybe leave it a little red. Ooh, red. Where does that pull it? A rich. Interesting. Maybe that pulls it to the wrong place where I'm not trying to go. There's definitely like a lot of interesting things that are happening in here. Like he's being very loose with the data. Again, the beauty of working in acrylic is you can kind of chop it up, paint over the top. I mean, this is the essence of the picture right there. What is the essence? You know, that continue to ask yourself is what I do. You know, then we look at the design here. There's dark in there. Such a great opportunity to just study it. All right. And also explore it, medium. I think sometimes the outcome of having something beautiful at the end is the drive, and it's not always in these. I find that they're their own little thing, collection of data. I mean, that's the essence of the design right there. How much more detailed I want to get, it's really up to me, but do 1,000 of these. I mean, you don't have to 1,000 literally, but do a bunch more if you're having the urge to learn when to add less detail. Look at artists that are doing it too. Study their work. There's a great place like Sargent or something. Cecilia Beau is another one. The Impressionists, of course, were always mindful of marks and, you know, trying to say more with less. Can you nail a ellipse like that? All right, then take. There's a book. I mean, there's a reason why he didn't just not have the idea of why there's a book in there. There's a book in there for a reason. Begin to contemplate why you think there's a book. Grab a little bit more red. Add add that to this. There we go. All right, so let's take and see if we can get a nice, like a purple violet. It's a tough one because if I had magenta, I know I could get it. I'm resisting because I have that tube of it. This is phthalo and red to just see what the violet is. Can't say I'm going to get it. Sometimes it's nice to just see what you can get. Well, at least I like. You know, of course, do whatever you want. But I like to just check it. Just to see the range. I just can't get it. So this range of colors and what I have, just not able to hit it. Just can't get a, probably cobalt violet or something. That's what it looks like. Paint with enough colors and you'll be able to kind of recognize them. And if you can't, then it means you just need to do more. Cornwell and like Salt Tepper and Mead Schaefer, they're referred to as bravura because they were very, very brave with their brushstrokes. I think inspired by Sorolla and Sargent and them. Look at their work. One of the reasons why I just absolutely love them. And they're storytellers. There's a big overlap even between like Sorolla and Abbey and the ones that were, you know, illustrators. Illustrating ideas and stories. I think they're just wonderful. There's green kind of pulled through there. Just going to pepper it in. It's an interesting kind of mix, interplay of warm, cool kind of going on in the color. To me, says like Viridian. Viridian will kind of hit that note. Then he's hitting it up with a little red. Peppered and in there. So it breaks it up a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to go crazy. Alright, and now let's see if I can get a little bit more red. There's a pop a little burnt umber in here. Just for time's sake. I think it works. Where it is right now. But this is just going to take, I can go over the top there and get a little bit more low chroma reddishness in there. Again, just the exploration, everything about this to me is so much fun. Is there something I can take away from this? You know, that I wouldn't have done before? What would be the decisions that probably would have made? Right? Kind of a whole warm, cool going on. Maybe you don't see it at first, but now I see it. All right, this tells the story, this piece over here. Then, of course, he's taking a yellow, which we don't really particularly have. Let me grab another red. Pop it back on there. Grab the green. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get yellow, so I'm just going to put a little yellow on. There we go. Fascinating because there's yellow looking there, but I need a little bit more light brown. Light yellow brown. A lot of browns are either red or orange or yellow. And then we take a device like this, put it on there, and then you realize, oh wow, he's using that as a device to push the eye. That's too dark. But there's a reason that he's surrounding it with like black. So let's go back in with black. Pull up over here. Always learning how to correct your drawing. That's half of painting. With that, then you begin to see deeper that this is black. All this black. You know, in these little ranges are just beautiful little moments, hierarchies. And then he breaks his space up. I mean, look at this. This is just so brilliant. He could have just not put anything in here, but he does. Right? And he puts a green, and what it does is it just breaks the space but connects the red kind of green throughout the whole thing. Let's just see if I can get a little more violet here. You know what? I think I have a violet. I'm going to pop it on. Or if you don't have a violet, of course, you can get magenta. These are just some Acrylic colors. That will get you a nice magenta or violet. Put over here. Take blue and mix them. Look at that. There we go. We look at this, and now I can hit the note lighter than I had it. And now go darker. Yeah, so there's just a beautiful amount of and leave it at this. Just design it. Just get the design, the essence of it. My opinion is don't go in and try to put the eyeballs in and all that stuff. I mean, if you want to put like a little moment, it's a reason why her lips are red. You could put like that. But if it gets in your way and it makes you want to render the crap out of everything, I mean, I would just stay away from doing it. You know, just grab the essence of it. And that's what these are, in my opinion, for. Of course, you can cater them any way that you want to. You know, that's the essence of the design of it, to a degree. And one last little thing, and I'll call it a day. It's just that he put the picture underneath for a reason. And then he tips that a little bit towards yellow. A little lighter. Tiny bit. Maybe that's too much. There. I mean, that's the essence of it. Still, there's like a whole mood that can be pulled in through it, or small variations of color, if you will. You know, it's up to you when you want to stop. Not up to me to tell anyone when to stop. The essence of the picture is right here. If you want to keep going, keep going. Sometimes time is a great factor. And then to be able to kind of objectively look at it after and say, I went too far. The essence of it was earlier, you know. We could just tone it down. Like too green now. Like at the last minute, I'm just making some quick things, and now I'm gonna have to get back in and battle to unify it back to, you know, like that. Adds a little bit more to it, but I don't know. The big picture here. There we go. And then just a little bit there for the, you know, and even that, the face that I put in, it's just a little bit too light. There we go. So it got in the way, and now just bringing it back. Now that's kind of the essence of what I'm usually going for. There's white there, the white of the collar there.